Okay, good morning, sons and daughters of the Most High. My name is Chukwemeka with the Igbo Hebrews. Brothers and sisters, today I want to do a follow-up to the video I did in the past called Global Attack on Circumcision. And no sooner had I done that video than people just came out of nowhere, from nowhere literally, to attack me and all sorts of things. You can equally look at the comment section of that video on another video I have, which is called War Against the Women, where people who claim to be, Igbos or Hebrews or whatever they want to claim, have been attacking me for defending the Abrahamic right of circumcision. Now, there have been brothers and sisters who have genuinely asked me why we were doing female circumcision, and the Bible explicitly stated that only male circumcision should be done. So today I want to give reason why I defend that. And I do know that this does not gain me a lot of favors. I do know that people do not like me for making this kind of videos, but I'm going to express my thinking. I'm going to let my light shine through. If you don't like it, that is your problem, not mine. I'm going to defend my culture, and I'm going to give you reasons why I'm defending it. Okay, let's start. In the book of Genesis, chapter 15, chapter 16, the Most High made a covenant with Abraham, our father, and in that covenant, he said that every male child should be circumcised. That's what the Bible said. Every male child should be circumcised on the 8th day. And he who is not circumcised on the 8th day is cut off from his people. So, since then, the children of Abraham are known for circumcising their children. Now, the question, brothers and sisters, is that, is it only males that should be circumcised or only female? We know, there are some things we know. We know that it is an Abrahamic practice of circumcision. It is the children of Abraham that circumcise. We also know that there are those who, because they have come in contact with the children of Abraham, they also circumcise as a result. We know that there are some Europeans that circumcise because they have read the Bible and they have adopted biblical customs. But the children of Abraham, who can be found here in Africa, the children of Abraham, I repeat, can be found only in Africa. You can't see them in the Middle East, you can't see them in Arabs. No, they're not there. The children of Abraham can be found here in Africa. They're circumcised. We know that. So the question now is it male circumcision or female circumcision, or male and female circumcision that should be done? Now, let's look into it. Most people are against female circumcision, and the reason they give, one, they say it's painful. Well, painful does not mean it shouldn't be done. A lot of things that are done in life is painful. It doesn't mean it's not necessary. Number two, they say it's not biblical. The Bible said it's only males that should be circumcised. Really? Is that really what the Bible say? Now, this is where what my thinking is. In a world that is changing every second, it's beneficial to hold on to something, and the only thing we hold on to is our tradition. Brothers and sisters, it's only someone who is drunk in his head that will believe that the Bible has not been adulterated in one way or the other. And personally, brothers and sisters, I believe that this male circumcision was an adulteration of the Bible. Now, this is why I believe that. I mentioned earlier that the children of Abraham can be found in Africa. Brothers and sisters, there is no tribe in Africa. There are a number of tribes that do circumcise. Of all the tribes that practice circumcision in Africa, there is none of them that circumcise male without circumcising female. Not one of them. You cannot find any, let me repeat it here. You cannot find any tribe that practices circumcision that only circumcises males without circumcising females. None whatsoever. When you come to Africa in prehistoric time, you either find people that circumcise or people that do not circumcise. People that do not circumcise, they don't circumcise at all. People that circumcise, they circumcise both male and female. female. Brothers and sisters, we the Igbo people are known for circumcision. We circumcise both male and female. There are also some other African tribes like the Bantu tribes that circumcise. They all circumcise male and female. But the Bible said only male. Which of them do you think has been adulterated by the people who hate circumcision? Brothers and sisters, if you read the book of Maccabees, if you even read the Bible entirely, you will know how the heathens hate our circumcision practice. You know how they hate it. We're not circumcising them, we're circumcising ourselves, but they hate it. So which of is it the African traditions of very many tribes that cut across the entire Africa, or the Bible do you think that has been adulterated? I'll leave you to answer that question for yourself. Now, let's look at the Bible. A lot of people have quoted for me that the Bible said it's only males that should be circumcised, it's only males. Is that really what the Bible says? Okay, let's look at the Bible. Let's look at the scriptures, brothers and sisters. If you look at the book of 2 Maccabees chapter 6, the story of two women were told. Two women were killed. They were publicly humiliated and executed. They were thrown down a wall. Two Igbo women were killed because they defended circumcision. Now, I want to ask you a question. Do you think women that were not circumcised will be defending circumcision? The scripture did not explicitly say the sexes of their children. It just mentioned children. So one can argue that they are all males, or they are not males, or one of them is male, one of them is female. One can argue that. But let me ask you a question. Do you think women that are not circumcised will defend circumcision with their lives? Do you really think that? That I'll leave you to answer that question for yourself. Now let's look at the scriptures. Let's go to the book of Jubilees, and I'll say a lot of people have said that the Bible says circumcise only male. Really, is that true? Let's look at the book of Jubilees, brothers and sisters. And again, the book of Jubilees is just the same as the book of Genesis, almost the same thing. Okay, now in fact, the book of Jubilees is called the Little Genesis. I believe that the book of Genesis was written from the book of Jubilees. And if you look at my videos, if you don't believe that our tradition is in the scriptures, just look at my videos, brothers and sisters. If you look at my videos, you see so many Igbo traditions that can be found in the book of Jubilees. Now, if you read the book of Jubilees, chapter 15, verse 25, let's read it and let's see what it says. It says, everyone that is born, the flesh of whose foreskin is not circumcised on the 8th day, does not belong to the children of the covenant. The book of Jubilees, in the earlier verses, like if you read before verse 26, it says circumcised male, circumcised male. But in verse 26, it says everyone, not every male, not every female, everyone that is born. So I agree with anyone who is concerned that the Bible says circumcise only males. I agree. The Bible said that. But the Bible also said circumcise everyone. Okay? And not only that, they have also shown you that they're all the children of Abraham, as can be seen here in Africa. In their tradition, they circumcise both male and female. None of them circumcised only male. It's only in the Bible that you see that. None of these cultures, not only Igbo culture, the Bantu cultures, some I don't know, some of those people, even the Arabs, some of these Arabs, they don't circumcise only male. They circumcise both male and female. Nobody does that, because if you circumcise only males without circumcising female, you create an imbalance in society. The Most High is not a God of confusion. The Most High will not create an imbalance in society. Brothers and sisters, if you read the book of a lot of people believe that Igbos may have adopted female circumcision from the communities around us. But we know that's not true. A lot of people have said that in the comment section in my videos, that we are now practicing the doctrine of men. We may have, instead of circumcising only males, we have picked up circumcising female, which is a doctrine of men. But that is not true, number one, brothers and sisters, because the communities around us, they do not circumcise at all. So where could we have picked it up? In Africa, you either circumcise or you don't circumcise. People don't just get up and go and learn tradition from other people. That's not the, this globalization we are seeing today is not the way it was before. That's not the way cultures are passed through. Cultures are only passed through when people live together, not people just go and learn things. It doesn't happen that way. The communities around us here in Africa and in Igbo land, they don't circumcise. So where could we have learned it? We are the only ones that circumcised before Christianity came. So where could we have learned it? Our ancestors have maintained biblical traditions. If you don't I've shown in lots and lots of my videos that the original Igbo tradition is biblical. If you don't believe me, go and see my videos. I've shown a lot of original Igbo tradition that is clearly in the Bible. And one of the things they have maintained is female circumcision. Why are we to believe that that particular one is wrong, but the other ones are correct? Okay, so there's no other tribe that practice only female circumcision. Now, a lot of people have also raised their attention that circumcision has no medical advantage. Circumcision, and I'm quoting them directly, that it has no medical benefit. Brothers and sisters, first of all, don't get dragged into the thinking process of people who want to deceive you. Don't get dragged into it. Circumcision does not have medical benefit because circumcision is not a medical process. How can you expect it to have medical benefit when it is not a medical process? Circumcision is a cultural process. It's not a medical process. Okay, circumcision is not taking penicillin or amputation or something that has medical advantage. No, circumcision is a cultural process, and it has lots and lots of cultural advantage. It has cultural advantage because it is a cultural process. Let me refer you to the book of Olaudah Ekwonu. The book of Olaudah Ekwonu kind of, in a very short, concise manner, detailed Igbo customs and tradition before it was contaminated by the colonial masters, the missionaries, or any other thing. And Olaudah Ekwonu mentioned that we circumcise our children. And he also mentioned that there is no atom of sexual promiscuity before marriage in our community. It does not exist. The communities around us were known for sexual promiscuity. It doesn't mean anything. Anybody can sleep with anybody. The communities around us are known for that even till today. But the Igbo communities, before we stopped circumcising, the practice of sexual promiscuity before marriage never existed. That is the cultural benefit of circumcision. That's why the Most High say we should be holy, like He is holy. Brothers and sisters, I recommend everyone to go and read the book of Jubilees chapter 15 and see the reason we should circumcise. Go and read the book of Jubilees chapter 15. Olaudah Ekwonu mentioned that our people were not known for sexual promiscuity before marriage. Never. He said he never had any of that. And anybody here, you can go and talk to your grandmother or your grandfather. Before we stopped circumcising our females, those things were not, was unheard of in our community. That is why we were the light of the world. People are judging their morality based on the Bible, which is based on Igbo customs. Our tradition was the light of the world in those days. But now, brothers and sisters, now that we have stopped circumcising our daughters, the inverse is the case. Our daughters are prostitutes all over the place now. Go to universities now, our daughters are the #1 prostitutes everywhere because we've stopped doing what the Most High asks us to do. That's why we are seeing a cultural decay, because we've listened to these criminals that call themselves Christian, and we've stopped keeping the laws of the Most High and stopped circumcising our children. Now, another angle that I like brothers and sisters to see is, who wants us to stop circumcision? Who is that person that wants us? It's not today that these Romans and the Greeks and all, it's not today that they've been trying to go and read the book of Maccabees chapter 6. You see what happened to your ancestors, to Igbo people, where the ancient Romans and the ancient Greeks tried to get us to stop circumcision. They were killing us. At our own wit's end, they were killing us to stop circumcision. They were ready to shed our blood. You see, when these people go to United Nations or go to wherever they go to and talk about circumcision, first of all, they give it a bad name. When they give circumcision, when you give something a bad name, you can easily destroy it. If you call it circumcision, those people who have been exposed to the Bible will see it as something good. So the word circumcision has a positive connotation, so they don't call it circumcision. Instead, they call it female genital mutilation. I mean, when you hear the word mutilation, it sounds like what serial killers do, right? That's what it sounds like. That's what they give it that name, mutilation, like we are just beating on the genitalia of our children. But that is not correct. It is circumcision. That's what it is. They give it a bad name, number one, just to make us stop it. They would do anything to make us stop it. And now they're saying females, they've been successful. Brothers and sisters, it's very difficult to see an Igbo girl that is circumcised now. It's very difficult. They have been successful in getting us to stop it. So the next phase now is to attack the male circumcision. You see, these people pick their battles. They know how to engage in battle. When they get you to stop one, they get you to stop the other one. They've gotten us to stop female circumcision. They will get us to stop male circumcision. And that's what they're doing. Okay, right now, brothers and sisters, the practice of circumcision has been outlawed in a number of places. The country of Denmark just a few days ago outlawed it. All it takes for them is to go to United Nations or maybe to African Organization or African Union, whatever they call themselves now. They go there and make one stupid speech. Maybe they will get a young girl, like most of these criminals they bring up, to pretend that they've gone through some kind of trauma. Like this criminal, what's her name? The one from Afghanistan that said they shot her in the head up, but somehow she managed to survive, which is a big lie. They will get someone like that, or maybe they will get a girl from our communities, like these criminal Chibok girls that they've been perpetrating on our societies. They will get them to say, oh, they've been forcing us to circumcise, and before you know, they will outlaw it. And those midwives who have the technical expertise of circumcision in our community, they are gradually dying off. And if they outlaw this as a medical practice, it's gone. We won't be able to even do the male circumcision again. This is an affront on our culture. This is an attack on our biblical practices, and we are seeing it. I mean, I get brothers and sisters come to my channel every day telling me they are full-blooded Igbo man. Again, what am I doing with your full-bloodedness? If you are a full-blooded Igbo man, what are you doing to protect Igbo culture and Igbo society from the attack that we are facing? What are you doing to protect your culture? If your culture is gone, you will be full-blooded nothing. I want to put this out there, brothers and sisters. In a world that is changing, I've said this earlier, in a world that's constantly changing, your tradition is all you can hold on to. There was a time in our communities when we were known for chastity and purity, when we kept the laws of the Most High. And the Most High knew that the only reason we could do that was if we circumcise our children. The Most High created, He knows the creation, He knows why He wants us to circumcise. He knows that. He knows the part of our body that the enemy will manipulate. The scripture says, if your eye is making you to sin, pluck it off. He knows the part of our body that the enemy will manipulate, and He knows why He wants us to get rid of it. You shouldn't doubt the covenant of the Most High which your ancestors have kept. I mean, no matter what we are going through today, it couldn't be as worse as what our ancestors went through in the book of 2 Maccabees chapter 6 when they were killing them for circumcision. Today, nobody is killing you for doing that, so why are you not circumcising your children? I will always request that our brothers and sisters go back to our tradition and keep it. The Bible has been manipulated, our tradition has not been. Circumcision is something that is practiced the entire Igbo. There are different cultures that are done in one village and not done in the other village. But when it comes to circumcision, it's the entire Igbo land do it. And not only the entire children of Abraham do it. Both the Igbos, the Bantus, the Congolese, the Lemba, they all do the same thing. So that somebody will come and tell you that the Bible said this, the Bible said that. Who are the people that wrote that Bible? But the Bible didn't really say that. We've read here in the scriptures in the book of Jubilees chapter 15 verse 26, and it says everyone should be circumcised. Everyone. Now, children of God, I like to ask this question. Who wants us to stop circumcision? And why? I want our brothers and sisters to ask themselves that question. Who is that person that wants us to stop circumcision, and why do they want us to stop it? I mean, look at the video I did to defend circumcision, the global attack on circumcision video I did. The moment I did it, people just showed up from nowhere. There are people who are paid to propagate this both on the internet and in social media. It's literally what they do for a living. You won't believe it, but this is the campaign. You see how serious these people are in attacking our biblical practice. They don't want us to keep the covenant we have with the Most High. And again, remember, I've said this a number of times. Once we stop keeping the covenant, the Most High has no reason to save us. He is no longer obligated to come to our rescue. That's just what's holding us. And we are gradually getting there. Now, brothers, these people that want us to stop circumcision, is it because they love our children so much that they don't want them to feel pain? You see, is that why they want us to stop? Of course not. They don't care about your children. I mean, just some months ago, we're hearing that over 200 black girls were missing in Washington, D.C. I mean, when they came up with their fictitious Chibok girls missing in Nigeria, before we even heard of it here in Nigeria, Mrs. Obama was saying, bring back our girls, bring back our... Now, 200 girls are missing in literally her own backyard. Where is she? They don't really care about your daughters, your children. They don't really care about them. They could care less about them. It's not because they love you. They just want you to stop what you're doing. Remember, these are people that come from a culturally decayed tradition. These are people where pedophilia and bestiality is legal. There are so many countries in Europe, including the countries that ban circumcision, where bestiality is legal. If you want to sleep with a goat, a cow, a donkey, it's still being done. It's only a few years ago that some states in the United States had to ban bestiality. It's still legal in some other countries still today. These are the people that are telling you to stop circumcision. People that sleep with cows and donkeys. These are people that are trying to lower the age of consent. They're trying to make it perfectly legal for grown men to have sex with 2 years old and 3 years old. But they will tell you to stop circumcision. It's okay to have sex with a child, but it's not okay to circumcise the child. This is what they do. It's okay to pierce the child's eyes, their nose, that one is not painful, right? Piercing a female child for whatever beauty or whatever they call it, that's not painful. But it's circumcision that's painful. That is for you to see the senselessness in the arguments they present. They don't want you to circumcise their child, but they want you to bring your child for them to have sex with. That one is not painful. Most people that I know that are circumcised don't even know they're circumcised. That means the pain is not there. But people that have been raped when they are 5 years old, they know it forever. They live with that stigma forever. That's what they want to do to your children, but they don't want you to circumcise the child. Think about that. As you make the decision to deviate from the ways of your ancestors, give this a thought.